G'day punters and welcome to a remote edition of the Wild West, brought to you by Betfair Australia. Bet smarter and bet harder. I'm joined by DC over on the East Coast. DC, how are we? How was the flight?
Flight was good. It's Melbourne weather never changes. First time I put a jumper on this year, I reckon. But other than that, no complaints. Looking forward to the Blues game on Saturday night mainly.
Yeah, no, it'd been. When was the last time you went to a Blues game?
Jeez, 2019. So yeah, it has been a while actually. No, sorry, no. Went to the Blues for everyone last year. That Unions after the siren. Yeah,
that's right. Your Mrs. Turnbull sent the footage up, and that was very, very good stuff. Actually,
got her 5 seconds of fame. So
yeah, got her 3 seconds. Yeah, exactly right. All right, let's have a look at last week's card to kick things off. You went gangbusters, Crip, Acromantula. I was got to ask you one thing with the Acromantula win. What did you think about I was looking at little nuances in the rides last week. What did you think about Mitchie Pateman coming off your back to hop on tight ones back at the top of the straight?
Yeah, I did actually. When I was doing my review, I did notice that. I guess, he's probably the percentage plays. If you get on the back of the breeze horse, you're always going to get a run. But, I mean, in hindsight, maybe could have stayed on Acromantula's back and cut the corner, do you think?
I think so, yeah. I mean, if you got a $3.50 pop or a $50 pop and there's nothing else around you, you got to, in those sprints as well, where there's probably only a length or two between them, it's, I think it's a pretty, the little things matter, as they say. But no, it was a good win. Money came nicely.
The price actually held up. It was 430 top tote. So, sort of went to plan, I guess. Got to the front, nothing else wanted to lead. Got to the front, rolled, and with like its trial, he was strong late when challenged. So good start to the day.
Chan Talk went super too, I thought. After missing the kick.
Yeah, spoiler alert, but that'll be my horse to follow actually.
Oh, yeah. Oops. And then where we move on to next, Crip? You run through your set first.
I then was in the first leg of the quaddie, Captain Kink. To be honest, got the run I expected, except sort of ended up 3-back the fence because Ziabel crossed. We've got dreams, but then we've got dreams popped off. But just every chance didn't go good enough. Couldn't catch Ziabel, who was one of the horses I think couldn't win the race, but Riverbow knocked them all out after getting the elusive 1-1 spot that was highly debated throughout the week.
It certainly was. Yeah.
Elusive for yours, anyway.
Yeah. Well, Highland beat, they made him stand in the gates for about 3 hours and it stood there last, sat up on it late and around the second quickest last two. I tell you what, I don't think we were far off it with Highland beat. Just didn't go to plan, Crip.
Yeah, fair enough.
Always an excuse.
And then I was finished the day took the shorts about Billy Ain't Silly. I think you actually said if he gets to the front, then you might as well turn your phone off at the top of the straight. But geez, it was anything but that. Got headed halfway down the straight, and like a good horse does, managed to kick back and leave the day on the winning note. So no complaints. 2 from 3 from me.
Yeah,
yourself?
Good stuff, Mini Winnie though. I tell you what, he's turned that horse around, hasn't he?
I've got to give a shout out to mate Kieran Peary here. He was actually on. I was watching it with him. He was also on Billy, but he took the 31s Mini Winnie Brad bet on Thursday morning, and halfway down the straight, I could just see out of the corner of my eye his smug little face, knowing that I was about to do my balls and he was going to break even on the race. But luckily for all of us, Billy kicked back, and that was an awkward couple of minutes, I reckon.
Yeah, no, that could have been challenging. So I was at a wedding over East, and I'd had a tough day, as we'll touch on in a second, and I thought I'm either having a blast out here. If I see $2, I'm just going, because I wasn't intending. It was actually a little bit below my price, and I thought, no, I'm going to follow the big fella in. So thank God for that. How did I go? What did we start with? We touched on Highland beat, missed the kick after they all stood there. Race was over instantly. Big Butter Boom was headed by Miss Marietta. I mean, give me a spell. Come on. So anyway, I still thought Big Butter Boom could have gone better. I thought it was just a middling run. I found a lot of runners recently, Crip, that come back off. So Big Butter Boom was coming off a 2 months break. Went super fresh when taken on, stiff not to win. I feel like there's been a bit of flatness coming out of horses' runs. I've noticed it more so on that second run when you'd think they would have derived fitness more so. Another one's Big Screen, who you were keen on a couple of starts ago, won really well on that step up. And then you would have thought sort of would have been fitter for the run, but they sort of haven't gone to that same level again. So I'm just interested in that and monitoring that and why that is. And perhaps freshness is a underrated aspect, but just trying to sort of understand and learn that a little bit more. But that's the lesson I tried to take from that. But
we're always learning, aren't we, Terry?
I think I'm clutching at straws. And then Leo had every chance. Was just beaten by a couple of good ones in the size, which unfortunately wasn't my horse. But no admirers lost. Good campaign for Lewa Crip. And that's my ride of the day as well. Sean O'Donnell on Hoyan, back to last, tracked him through. That was a cracker. Absolute 10 out of 10.
Yeah. No, I couldn't. That could have easily been mine too, but I will give mine to, losing ride, but Mitch Pateman on Mini Winnie, Barry 11, got the 1-1. And the other thing I liked about it, which I think, you can never be critical of a winning ride on Billy Ain't Silly, but I reckon Lacta could have probably got into it a bit earlier. Mitch was just all over him on the top of the straight. And as I said before, it took a really good horse to have to get off the canvas and fight back. So well done, Mitch. But also next time, piss off, please. It was took some years off my life expectancy. And I've already touched on it, but my horse to follow is Shantalk, one of my favourite. But as you said, you heard rumours that might have missed a little bit of work. Was no trial. The apprentice on, missed a kick, not beaten far. Senior on next start, should go well.
Yeah, I thought it hit the line basically the same as Vedette to Star, who's going to have one of the sharper last 200. So it's a big positive sign for a stable with pretty high intentions. I think they're talking Winterbottom potentially, but that might, they need to continue to improve. Gemma's Son for me, Cripps, that deep the trip in that really hot race. Could have been black type, kept coming. I think Gemma's Son is a horse with a big future. So Gemma's Son for me draws a gate over 1,000, 1,200, and I think it'll be super hard to beat next time out.
Very good.
All right, let's get stuck into this card. Light westerlies are forecast for the day, about 28 degrees over here. Lovely conditions, Crip. Good holiday. Good conditions for a little holiday down south, actually. But race one, a shitty old maiden. We're definitely not going to touch on that one, are we, mate?
Well, I don't know whether I'm clutching at straws or not, but I think this will almost be my best of the day. So. I've got to take my poison early, but as you said, very moderate 1,500 meter maiden. But just from a process of elimination, I'm pretty confident Astraba should be your clear cut favourite. Look, he hasn't done a hell of a lot wrong this preparation. First up, he was quite unlucky. Second up, ran third to Image Keeper, who has since won its subsequent 2 starts. And even last start, only beaten just over a length by Scorpion Storms when also finding a bit of traffic at the top of the straight. Now, look, he's definitely no superstar, but I'm just looking at what else is in the race. Now, the 2 that are ahead of him in the market, I'll start with Cross Swords. He's your $2.50 favourite, I think. He's resuming off a 485-day gap between runs over 1,500 metres. He's 6 weeks between runs, trial and run, and since then he's also changed trainer. Like there's just
he really ticks some boxes.
How many red flags do you want? So look, I'm prepared to take him on, and the other one is Platinum Label, who resumed off. I thought it was a tough win of a trial, but didn't really set the world alight. He ran third in a race won by Hinchinmose, who was, I think at the time, a 22 start maiden who had 5 or 6 cracks at Narrogin and York and couldn't crack it. So I'm really happy to not take much out of that form. So I don't think anything else. Like my 4th pick in the market is Rubilicious Rose, who's had 10 starts and never placed, a few of those at Geraldton. So by process of elimination, I've just come back to Astraba, Barrier 1, blinkers on. Chris Willis is actually training a few winners at the moment. $3.70 is or $3.60 is enough to get me involved to start the day, even though I sort of feel a bit dirty tipping into a maiden. But
I'm picking up what you're putting down. That last run was probably a little bit more meritorious as well, because anything out in the centre of that track early in the day wasn't as good as the inside pad which Scorpion Storms was on. So Yeah, tick some boxes. I must admit, everything you said is absolutely bang on. I've marked it $3. I took me $5 with Brad Bet this morning, and the gift that keeps on giving it over at Tab Touch headquarters. But yeah, I'll probably just for my own self-esteem, I'll probably stay out from there. But what price have you got at Starbucks?
I'm at 260, so yeah, the 370 is it's plenty for me. The other thing as well, I didn't mention Platinum Label on debut bled, so it suffered the 3-month ban.
Okay.
And I've got no data to back this up, but if you ever talk to trainers or people who work with horses, they always say if you're going to get a bleeder to run well, it's normally first up. So you'd be interesting to see how that horse goes second up. But yeah, Strava to kick off the day.
Very good. I think you might be on the money there. We're going to look at the first feature of the day, the Sheila Gwynn Classic. Another race, which just, geez, this is an exciting one to discuss. 6 of them, with 3 of them that far out of the handicap weights wise. You can probably put a line through them. No guesses here which one you're going to be looking at, they say.
Well, here's a fun fact. Sheila Gwynn was actually my great-grandmother, so I've got to tip into this race, don't I?
Oh, was she?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, now look.
I feel like I should have known that.
No spoils on the price, but I really think this is Tycoon Storm's race to lose. She's really suited under the set weights and penalties. I love the draw, so I think if you do a quick map, I expect that Worth the Risk will lead. Zephyr Queen sits outside. Sweet Angeline box seats, which leaves Tycoon Storm in the 1-1. Not sure what Watch Me Dance does, but whether she goes forward, I'll be sort of happy with that because that's probably not in her comfort zone. She could get caught deep, or if she goes back, well, then Tycoon Storm will have the head start. So she's the one that's drawn sticky. And as usual, Cryptic Love will be last. I thought Tycoon Storm really had Watch Me Dance covered when they met last time, and now she gets the 1.5 kilos, I think it is, for good measure. Look, I've marked her at $1.80. There's $1.95, $2 available. Wouldn't say not going to be a launch job, but if you're on a card where this is actually my last tip pretty much. So on a card that I'm not that intrigued about, you could do worse than backing her at even money or above.
Yeah, agree on all points there. I think Cryptic Love with the big weight off a slower tempo. It's going to be hard to sprint past him. Yeah, Tycoon Storm, the map, everything just ticks all the boxes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Cryptic Loves. I've touched on it last time that horse race. I really, again, I don't want to say she fluked that listed win, but it was at 40-1. She got 13 points that day, and while it looks like she's weighted okay at set weights and penalties, I mean, if she didn't win that day, she would have been a different story. So, Tycoon Storm, happy to not dive in, but have something on it. Black odds if we see him.
Double your money. Pay for a few beers in the night.
Exactly.
Pay for a few beers at the footy. That's you watch Harry McKay kick 10.
Only won last week. Nothing to cry about here, but that'll do me, Terry. It's your turn.
Yeah, you're done for the day. All right, Crip. Well, race number 7 is again, I haven't got too many that I'm interested in either, but it's a horse that you said, I think you had Cocky Joy as one of yours to follow a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, so continued to follow Cocky Joy, been stiff at her last 3. Probably should have beaten Tycoon Storm, the horse you just tipped. Definitely should have beaten Tycoon Storm 3 starts ago when held up in key moments while she was bolting in the straight. Went back from the wide gate against Maginica. I forget she went round, and then last start got well back again over the 1200 behind Clairvoyance. Hit the line, basically exactly the same as Platinum Bullet, who would be pretty well in this market, and just seeing a horse like Cocky Joy hit the line with a similar last 150 to Platinum Bullet, I think tells you how well she's really going. So I think she lands probably 3 back the fence here, and the price you're getting is because you need a little bit of luck from 3 back the fence, obviously. So you've got Sophie Song, Nelson's Flight, those type of horses in front of her, I think can give a little bit of a kick into this. But I think with normal luck, and as long as she hasn't trained off, she has been up for a while, that she'll be really hard to beat. It's funny because at the start of this prep, Crip, I think you were probably the same. We all pigeonholed Cocky Joy as a 1,000, 1,100 metre horse that would try and race onish near the speed, and that was its one go. And being totally reinvented, I guess, as a horse-ridden colt over 1,500 meters, which is it's a leopard can change their spots, I guess.
You got to give credit to Jim Grieve. He's he's sort of renowned as a trainer who probably races his horses way so many times, but he seems to be able to keep them ticking over, doesn't he? He does don't know what he does during the week.
Slate's having start 746, I think, this weekend. So,
I marked a $5 favourite, so I don't really disagree with you, but found this race incredibly tough. Wasn't sure if you were going to follow up on Position of Power.
Look at the $7. I thought Position of Power went huge, but it's half the reason I'm knocking a little knock on Creator. It's not a big knock. I've got Creator about $8. I'm sure most would have it shorter. It's won a race where CJP gave him a 10 out of 10. Bruce Almighty's come from 6 to run second, which isn't probably Bruce's go. And then Position of Power sat deep the trip and run third. So I just don't know how strong that form line is after getting a 10 out of 10 steer. So I just think this is a harder race. He goes up in weight. And I think we can just probably risk Creator a little bit here. But the Position of Power, I think we need the stronger jockey on. I think there's still going to be map issues from barrier 7 and the $7. I think that's pretty thin. And Bruce Almighty, $7 from 11 as well. That's super thin. But in this same race, Crip, I do want to Dutch Cocky Joy with War God. War God wins 1 per campaign. This is start number 79. He's had 10 wins. I've never found him in those 78 starts. So I'm due the way I say it. Has been racing fairly. Forget he went round last start over 1,200 metres. Jade sort of seemed happy to restrain to 3-4 back the fence, found some trouble in the straight. It was just never his race. And the way it was ridden, to me, it was a bit of just a prep run, 7-day backup into today. He's the big weight horse on a lot of these. I think he gets 3 kilos, not to be missed. Who's $4? War God's 20, 2.5 Cocky Joy, and he gets 2.5 on Sophie's Song as well. Horses are improving panels for Lactar Ramoli. Like the 2 kilos is great, but you've got to say you're probably getting an upgrade on the last few jockeys as well and the current form they're in. So from barrier 4, lands in a perfect position, carries a low weight. It's a career low rating, or at least for the last 4 years for War God, what he's down to now. And look, if you just look at that run 2 starts to go behind Tycoon Storm, Watch Me Dance beat him home. Tycoon Storm beat him home. Not to be missed was the other one that beat him home, but he gets that weight swing plus clearly barrier position on him today. I think he's right into this up to his eyeballs. And I just think the $20 is only really there because he's a horse people are sick and tired of backing. So, I'm pretty keen to Dutch the pair of them, Crip. I've marked him 320 Cocky Joy, and I've got War God $7.50. So at fives and about $20. That's definitely my big play for the day is this race.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually jumped on the plane as the odds were still settling, and I actually didn't realise how big a price War God was until you mentioned that. Then I've actually got him marked $11. So technically,
there we go. We could be. Oh no,
it's probably a bet.
No, I better get the rest of me bet on before you in. No. I think if War God's going to win one this campaign, this is the right race and map to do so, Crip. So very happy with that Dutch bet. Race 8, the Diggers Cup. I really like the 3-year-old race earlier in the day as a from a neutral perspective, but this looks a cracking race, doesn't it, Crip?
Yeah, I found it a really tough. Found it a tough race to analyze, to be honest. Just because you got your horses like Trap for Fools. I knew you were keen on it last start, and all of a sudden, despite carrying 62, just gets absolutely thrown in at the weight scale, doesn't he? I don't have much of an opinion here. So do you want to? I actually marked Trap for Fool's favourite, but $4.30. What price is he?
Yeah, $4.
So
no
interest here, but for the sake of a tip, Trap for Fools. But I'll let you like one or half like one?
Sort of, yeah. My issue with Trap for Fools is I don't know if he's ever won a race sitting before. I know you actually mentioned before that 2 starts ago he took a sit just because the other ones were quicker than him early in the old Comrade, and that run would go very close here, which you're bang on. It would, but I think he was lucky to fall into second there with Media Baron beating him home. Dig Deep held up, and the rest of them were just no good behind him. So I think it was. It's just a horse I love out in front, and that's why I liked him in the Pinjarra Cup. I I think I made a bit of a blue there because on the soft 7 with the 62, it's a different race, and Divine Shadow clearly relished the conditions. So, I mean, after the bet loses, we always say we've made an error, but I was actually saying it even just before they jumped. I said, I think I've made a bit of a blue here, but now he looks one of many chances in this. But Cockney Crew, I think, can cross. That's funny as. So that's funny as peels out. Just on weights, like Cockney Crew gets 3 kilos on That's Funny As. Mackenzie Brook gets 3.5 and was huge last time out. And then you go to the weights, like Trap for Fools gets 6, as you were just talking about, off Media Baron. Arctic, he gets 6 off Arctic Stream from their last meeting. And Maricino actually gets 4.5 from That's Funny As from a meeting back in February where arguably they were the same type of run. There was a little bit of gap between them, but I think you remember that one. Maricino was last coming down the outside.
Yeah, Jason.
That was red hot. So look, it's funny because I'm obviously more of an eye punter than a data punter, but the data really says Maricino is going to have to go to another level, or at least this campaign, to probably run the same race as Trap for Fools or even a Cockney Crew. But I really do believe that Maricino can do that. Pike will probably stalk Trap for Fools, follow him into the race. And I just think especially the way Pike is riding at the moment, it looks such an ideal map for a horse. It always is improving. So back to the 1800, I think is a good thing. I'm not convinced Maricino is a true stayer. I think his best distance will be 1800. I think Pike can get the job done. I've marked him $3, currently 380. So yeah, I'm very happy being on Maricino here. But what the money does, Criff, will be really interesting. I was interested to know what your market was because with the data, and the money tends to follow the data, except for when William Pike's involved. What does your market say if you've done this race?
Yeah, no, obviously did it. I had Maricino a lot longer than current price. So yeah, I need admittedly close to $10. So that's
where I'm sort of thinking I'm going to be on. But it's sort of like, well, do you hop in at the 380 when you're marked at 3? You're happy with that price? It's a risk versus reward thing, and in this situation, it's probably a hold off job. And this is why I quite enjoy the data these days, knowing that's the fact. There could be big, strong money, Trap for Fools, Cockney Crew, those type of horses, and you can shop that 550 late and.
The only thing, just having a look at it now, Maricino has run to a rating that would probably win this race, but it wasn't his preparation, it was his previous preparation. So
the feature was that the feature?
Yeah, those 3-year-old features when that Lindsay Smith horse was Sean Treyer was running well, and cousin Ivan KC. So does have the figures, just hasn't been able to produce them yet so far this prep, but no doubt he's got every chance we can go to that. So look, my price probably a bit long. Was a race where I wasn't overly keen to get involved. So didn't do the deep dive.
No, I didn't do the deep dive. Well, no prices can be that wrong after I'd boyish at $3.80 a couple of months ago. So you've always got that to fall back on, Chris.
In fairness to you, it started a lot closer to your price than the market price when you did.
It did.
I'll give you that.
I needed that. Thank you. I appreciate that. My best is the Cocky Joy War God Dutch Crip.
My best winning chance is Tycoon and Storm, but probably best betting proposition has to be a Strava. So that's how you say it. A Stava. So didn't never in my wildest dreams did I expect that a Stava would be my best bet on a Saturday, but I
reckon it'll win. That's the thing. And you're so bang on, like the power of deductions. It's an exact pair of deductions race. Lines go through 4 of them. The favorite at $2.20, first up for 7 years, 6 weeks since the trial, up to the 1,500 meters. Geez, if you're taking $2.20, even if you're winning, you got to reconsider what you're doing. I think.
I know. I should now, because I'm on a Starber, I won't get on lay the favorite on Twitter. But if I was, that's got to trade double that price, doesn't it? So I'm pretty confident Starber will start shorter than $3.60 anyway. I think the game's all about, isn't it? So
I think you're bang on there, mate. I think you're absolutely bang on there. So anyway,
all right, that'll do us. Not the most exciting card we've seen, but we've actually had a couple of good ones lately, so we're probably due for a bit of a quiet week. Firstly, 1-1 pod as always with Terry and BJ. No guest this week, but if you want to hear the deep dive on all 9 races, tune into that. Now, got can't announce it yet, but got some big news next week. Betfair have some big news, which I'm really excited about. So stay tuned. Just keep your eyes peeled because I think they're looking to announce some good stuff early next week. So, and we'll definitely be covering it on the show next week. I also just want to give a shout out. Don't know if he watches this or not, but give a shout out to
Cripps. This is turning into Cripps Corner. What's next?
I want to give a shout out to Brad Parnham. It was a ride yesterday, Critical Attitude, which raised a few eyebrows, and there was a bit of discussion on Twitter about it. And just there's no better jockey in WA than his transparency with punters. And he jumped. I asked him a question. I said, "If we can get some insight," and he responded to me straight away. He wasn't offended by it, and he gave me a bloody good response, to be honest. And I think it raised any doubt or questions that the punters had in mind. So shout out to Brad. I think I can speak on behalf of punters that we really do appreciate stuff like that on social media. It's really good. And last but not least, cripsracing.com if you want to see my stuff throughout the week. Now, other than that, good luck on the punt and gamble responsibly.